Business at the Oval Office was put on hold this afternoon as President Obama headed down to South Carolina to give the eulogy for State Senator and Reverend Clementa Pinckney. Following a day of public viewings at the State House, today he was laid to rest. RT's Manila Chan has been following the services for us and brings us the latest. Manila, tell us more about the events in Charleston.
Yes, Manny, hundreds of mourners turned out for the funeral services of State Senator and Reverend Clementa Pinckney at the College of Charleston TD Arena, which is near the Mother Emanuel Church, where his life was tragically cut short just last week. Thousands of people lined the streets to pay their last respects as his hearse rolled by. Now, President Obama, who knew the Reverend very well, gave the moving eulogy for the 41-year-old who touched so many lives in his community. The president spoke fondly of his memories of his dear friend and referred to him as Clem. But perhaps the most profound moment in the president's nearly 45-minute-long eulogy was what he said in reference to the now confessed killer.
God works in mysterious ways. God has different ideas. He didn't know he was being used by God. Blinded by hatred, the alleged killer could not see the grace surrounding Reverend Pinckney and that Bible study group. The light of love that shone as they opened the church doors and invited a stranger to join in their prayer circle. The alleged killer could have never anticipated the way the families of the fallen would respond when they saw him in court in the midst of unspeakable grief with words of forgiveness. He couldn't imagine that.
Now, as you saw right there, that statement drew a rousing standing ovation from the guests at the funeral. But inside the program book, a glimpse into the short but full life of this man, a man who said he felt the calling to preach by age 13, a man who was the head of his own church just after high school. Clementa Pinckney was also the youngest person ever elected to the South Carolina State House and was still a sitting state senator at the time he was killed. Now, also in that program were letters his wife Jennifer and his two little girls wrote to him, one of which began with, "To my daddy, when someone loves you, they care even when they're not there." The president, first lady, along with the vice president and Mrs. Biden were all in attendance, along with the South Carolina political establishment. So the loss of Reverend Pinckney, along with the 8 others, have really brought this community of Charleston together, along with the entire U.S., rather than create the division as hoped when the deranged shooter cut their lives short. Manny?
Thank you, Manila, for those updates. That was RT correspondent Manila Chan.